Hey, it is Darby here with Trauma Informed Solutions. And I wanted to explain the difference between coaching for professionals and coaching for individuals. Um, the individual coaching is for people who are dealing with trauma or conflict or um, needing help, just like creating a self-care routine. Um, and of course, like the regular stuff that people are coached on, like getting things done. Um, and all of that. The main difference between what I'm doing just for individuals and for professionals is I can coach on all of that for professionals because of course professionals need, you know, all of the same things that regular people do because they are regular people. Um, But where I'm distinguishing this is if you are a professional and you're working within a system or an institution, you're dealing with other employees. You might be a supervisor, you might be in customer service, you might work one-on-one with clients. So some examples here of how I've been coaching people on this already is number one in education because I'm an educator. um, I am actively teaching and I've been teaching for decades. So I have done a lot of work around how to support my students to feel safe and regulated before they are like able to learn. And my background in working with students is I've worked mainly with disadvantaged youth. So there's a lot of, survival, a lot of violence, a lot of trauma that they're dealing with that they may not be necessarily getting help with outside of the classroom. And all of that comes into the classroom with them. So I would try to get their basic needs met first. I would feed them snacks. We would do restorative circles, um, breathing exercises, journaling prompts, a lot of things to get them to settle down, and then they would be able to work. Um, that's personally like my approach to it, but there's a lot right now in the trauma informed sphere, especially in education, showing this works. So I've been working with teachers and supervisors and college professors on just how to have a more trauma informed approach to their either their classroom or their school community. Is lightning. um I am in South Florida where there's lightning almost every day. Even if a school, excuse me, I'm real here. Even if a school will not adopt like something school wide, there are things you can do in your classroom or in your department that will make a difference to the people that you are working with. Another example of where a trauma informed approach is desperately needed is the court system. Because when you think of those high conflict cases that come through court, whether it's family court, especially family court, um, juvenile justice, drug court, I mean, everybody in drug court is using drugs as a coping mechanism to deal with trauma, right? So, um, and I have tons of resources on family court and the court system and how to make it trauma informed. So, I have done training for mediators and family court professionals at, nationwide conferences like for the Association of Conflict Resolution and the Association of Professional Mediators, APFM, family mediators, and AFCC, to try to really change the way and shift how things are done. Because if people are coming to court and all of the professionals in court, whether you're a judge, a clerk, a deputy, a lawyer, an evaluator, a mediator, a parenting coordinator, a guardian ad litem. I mean, there's so many court professionals, right? So no matter what your role is in the system, and you'll see, and I'm sure you have people in mind if you're listening to me right now that are high conflict and you're like, oh my goodness. It's because their nervous systems are not regulated, they do not feel safe, they're in survival mode, and the court is not doing anything to make them feel safe. So doing coaching on how you can make whatever your particular practice is more trauma informed. I can help you create a trauma informed system for the way that you work. And I'm not going to tell you what to do. Coaching is me asking questions, you figuring it out for yourself, me kind of facilitating that, right? So I'm not going to tell you to do something that you know won't work for you. You create what will work for you based on the questions that I ask and my own, expertise and this area does help a lot. So those are two examples of education and in the family court system, or just the court system in general. But this could go towards any workplace. If you have, like, if you're a supervisor and you have trouble employees that show up late or call out sick, or dealing with constant drama, workplace conflict. I am trained in this. I am finishing a PhD in conflict resolution. So this is my jam. Like I can help you. Um, so if this sounds something that you could benefit from, that's one part of it. Another part of it is in dealing with the workplace conflict and the drama and everything else, there's like compassion fatigue and vicarious trauma, like secondary trauma that you or potentially your employees or the people that you work with are are dealing with, so self-care strategies and are very important, and all of that can impact productivity and focus and being able to get stuff done. So it's not therapy, but it approaches the problems you're dealing with on a daily basis, like in ways where you have agency and choice to craft things that will work for you. And I'm just here to help with that. The other thing I wanted to add is there are a lot of people moving through this world, everyone basically, that has experienced trauma. And not everyone has the same level of resilience or the ability to bounce back. As I am recording this, it is September of 2022, so we are still dealing with COVID. There's school shootings, there's a lot of political instability, especially in the US. So there's a lot going on in the world, like on a large scale, and then on like a regular scale. If you're familiar with adverse childhood experiences, it doesn't cover everything, but it gives good kind of overview of the things that even kids are dealing with. Um, that can lead to future physical and mental health problems. The same with adults. If you're dealing with trauma or stress or conflict, you can have physical health problems from it. So, um, I am not a doctor, like a medical doctor. I will be a PhD doctor soon, but I'm not a medical doctor. And I'm not a therapist, but I can help you learn how to regulate your nervous system and figure out different ways to move forward that won't be so stressful on your body and your nervous system. And the reason why I am doing all of this is because I've been there. Well, I'm still there, but I've been there. I've been through it both as a student where I've needed to get accommodations to help me in class as a grad student, as an adult, um, because I was so stressed out I couldn't focus. Um, and and as a professional, like I mentioned, I've been an educator for a really long time, and I don't just accommodate the students with IEPs or special education plans. I accommodate all of my students. I make sure not all of their needs get met, but I make sure they all feel comfortable and safe in my classroom. When I was teaching in a classroom, I'm currently not teaching in a classroom right now because COVID. Um, well, I'm teaching online, just not in person. So enough of my ramblings. So I have personal experience, professional experience. I've done trainings on this, and I want to make sure that, if you have something that's just been like bothering you or not sitting right with you about the work that you do, and you'd like to maybe experiment and um, try things differently, I'm your sounding board. I can help you figure it out. Okay. And it could help you to feel better, both mentally and physically. And it could help whoever you're working with, your colleagues and peers, your clients, your students, if you're a teacher. Um, it could help them to feel more safe and regulated, which overall will be like get more work done, right? So that's a good goal to have. Um, if it sounds like this would help you, sign up, um, sign up below. And I think that's it. Okay, take care.